Hey, everybody. We're so excited to see your faces. Well, actually, we don't see your faces, but we're glad that you're here. We're going to give just another minute for people to join, and then we're going to get started. And we are excited to show you all about the new portal layout. Julie, what do you think? I'll start at 11:01 or 11:02.
Yeah, it might be some people are sitting together in a conference room also. So
Could
we
be.
can start whenever you are ready. I'll keep watching the lobby to let people in as they come. So don't feel like you have to watch that.
Well, then let's just do this, right?
Let's do it.
Oh, good. My meeting is going to pop up over the webinar. We're running a slide deck here. Let me get the controls up. Right. So let's start. We're going to do our portal webinar. This is the first webinar we've done, and we are so glad that you have joined us for it. I'm going to take you through some slides, and then we're going to jump into the webinar, but we're going to start by showing you our agenda. So this is the introduction and the welcome. We are so glad that you are here today. After we welcome you and we do our introductions, we're going to give you some tips on how you can ask questions. And we'll talk a little bit about the setup for this webinar. And then we are going to go over some disclaimers about what I'm going to show you today in case you're thinking about following along as we do this. I want to stop you from painting yourself into a corner or to stop you from making a mistake if that you might make. So after the disclaimers, I'm going to give you the demonstration of the portal, and then we'll go over how the process will work to get your portals either built or refreshed. And then we're going to do some Q&A, hopefully with your questions that you've asked. And then we have a quick poll for you. We really are interested to know if you like this format for meeting. We'd love to gather your feedback on that. And then this will be posted and available, this webinar will. So since I've skipped the introduction slide, I'll start. My name is Misha Franklin, and my role here is primarily to demo our software to interested parties. I also help onboard our new customers, so I will be walking us through the demo today. I'll turn it over to Julie, and she can introduce herself.
Hi, everyone. I'm Julie, and I've probably worked with all or some of you at one point or another, either through support or through your implementations. That's what I do. I work with customers on their implementations.
Yeah, and hi everyone, my name's Buddy. I am the Director of Implementation and Support. Many of you I've spoken to on support or worked with during the implementations. Just here to help answer any other questions you guys might come up with throughout the demo today. Thank you all for being here.
And I'd like to talk about you, the audience. We invited two groups of our customers. Some of you have been with us from the beginning before a real portal was available, and you've never quite added one, either for your reasons or because it didn't exist at that point. So you're here to see what the portal is all about. We also have some customers that are using, sort of outdated or older models of the portal, and they might not be using all of the features that are available. So we have invited both of you as groups generally to participate in this webinar and see what's available to you. And if you're not in one of those groups and you heard about this and you were excited to join, we're happy to have you here too. So we are going to go right into how this webinar is going to work. So we've disabled chat. This is to help it not be so distracting to have a stream of chat going. But Q&A is enabled. We're moderating it, so you can post your question at any point. We're going to publish or share the questions that apply to all, and we're going to attempt to answer all of those questions in demo today. There's a chance that you will ask so many questions that we'll have less time. Then we'll have to cover all of those, and we'll share those answers with you through email in a few days. Also, we've turned off everyone's mics and cameras just so that that's not a distraction. And then again, in the poll at the end, we're hoping you can let us know how this feels for you, and if you'd like to do it again. So I am going to transition now into talking about our disclaimers for this demo. First, we want you to know that we're showing you options that are available to you. None of these are forced. You don't have to add them. If you like something, you can add that. We can help you add that, but you don't have to add anything. This second disclaimer, this do not attempt this on your own. This is specifically because there's a button in the portal admin section that will reload your portal pages. If you click that button, it's going to load new pages for you and it's going to overwrite everything. So don't do that. Especially don't do that now at the start of this thinking that you're just going to work along, because it will overwrite everything you've got and your constituents won't be able to access your stuff until you repair it or hook it up. We are going to help you implement these new pages, and this work is included in your subscription, so there's no cost. And at the end, we're going to talk about how you can request it and what to expect from that process. So this is a great time. If you have questions about anything that we've talked about, feel free to just click that Q&A button and ask your question. Julie and Buddy are going to be monitoring those, and we will just keep going. So we're going to do demonstration. So are you ready to see this new portal layout? On our screens now is the new portal template for my demo environment. So this is a real divergence from our previous layout. Our goals here are to make it simple and easy to use. So we've gone towards images, pictures, icons, and less text. Because we've noticed that humans sometimes don't read text on websites. So we want to make it simple for them. So I'm going to go top down and show you the features that are available. Some things haven't changed, like our navigation pane up at the top. All of these are still available to you. This banner image is optional. We can help you find one. We can use one that you have, or we can take it off the page if you don't prefer that. We also have an announcements section. So these are easy to change these instructions. This is also a section that you can hide, right? You can take it off and you can add it back when you have something urgent that you want your constituents to see. So I'm going to pop over to our staff side, right? I'm in as an administrator, and I have clicked on the portal options. So you need to have portal access to do this. These pages are controlled here. So if we open up the home page, you're going to see a GUI, right? A graphical user interface that shows you how your portal displays. This is also showing you that we are responsive design. So you can come in to this text. All of these icons at the top, this is our HTML editor. So I could change the text if I wanted, but if I wanted to maybe make this a little bit more, I'll call attention to it, maybe I will turn it blue and I'll bold it. So then when I save, and I get rid of this window, we're making changes on the fly. When I refresh my page, then we have that updated text. So easy to do, right? Quick and easy. The next section on the page are quick links. So you see 8 quick links here. These are going to be most frequently used services. We can give you a URL to drive your constituents directly to what they need. And we're trying to, create these icons or use these icons that show them what type of work they're going to do. So some of the guidelines and helpful hints, you can make these links anything you want. We're using CSS to format these pages now. So embedded in these new pages will be CSS code that can control how many columns, are on this section of the page. It works well with 4. It looks okay with 3 or 2. 1 is like the width of the announcement page. So you can't have 72 on one row because it just won't translate to a good button for your constituent. And we recommend not showing them more than 8 options. So, 2 lines of quick links. Otherwise, it's not quick anymore. But if you do want to add more to the page, we've got this great navigation section. So These can be by department or by module. So under permitting, we have, apply for a building department permit or directly to a parks permit. This is one of the coolest features that are available. We can tailor your links. So up at the top, this is a general link. If I click, and I'm going to show, I'm logged out of the system right now. I'm Jane Q Public coming to the portal and I click apply for permit. The system wants me to log in. So I'm going to use my credentials because I've been here before. New users would register. When I log in, the system remembers that I clicked that apply for a permit button and it takes me to all of the permits. Now, we can also filter and we can give you just a department's permits. So this link, apply for building department permit, will take me to the application page, but now it's just showing the building department, which is really cool. If we go back, we can also link to a direct application type. So I have a parks permit. It is just a single permit type. It's not going to the parks department. And it allows me to then move on with that application type. So these are things that we can add to your portal as they are, if that would help you. It's just HTML code and calling the right department and the right permit, so we can help you with that syntax if you want to opt for those immediate changes. In our system, let me see, we're going to keep going all the way down to the bottom. We can put links to your social media on your page. So this is a Facebook and what was formerly Twitter, an Instagram. If you have a LinkedIn or something, we can post those icons here, and then your constituents can see what you're doing in Facebook, if that's applicable, and we can leave it off if it's not. This portal is also mobile friendly. So if I take this, Firefox was fighting me. Here we go. I was in full screen mode, that's why. If your constituents come to the portal on their iPhone or their Android phone, the content is going to shrink and it's going to display in a really logical way. So this whole site is built with responsive design, so that is a great feature. Now, there's one other item that I want to show you. It's the messages up here. So maybe I'll just tease you. There's this little icon here, and we're going to click on it in a minute. All of these links are still available. They look normal, right? They look normal. They look the way they always did. But we can apply this same update to the formatting to your services pages. So I'll take you to the permits page. We've got a little alert, an announcement that text inspections can happen in this environment, and we'll do a little bit of that later. This services page still has the navigation pane on the left, so that is going to stick with this template until we bring out our new portal. So this may change in the future, but right now this is built in. So it makes sense to have just 3. If you want the text to be in one line, you can do 4 and you can wrap that text too, and we'll see that on the My Accounts page. And then we've just done 2 navigate our departments here. This is for the permit section, so you can have multiple rows of these if you'd like to. And then again, these links are all set up to help drive your constituents to the information they need about permits. So I am going to take you to the search option. So search is something that is configurable. If you have it on, your constituents can search for your project types. So when I click this, we see all of the types that are enabled. Did you know that you can disable certain modules? So if you don't want people to search on code complaints, but you want them to search on everything else, we can configure that for you. So I'm going to click permits, and I will pick a permit type here of building. And when I submit, it's going to display my search results. We used to just by default have these as hyperlinks. And it used to be that what you see is what you get. But now we want you to know that you can have this information configured. So you can hide information you don't want your constituents to see, or we can pull in additional details that you do want them to see. So Want you to know that this feature is here. It's really cool. And you can also block the drill down. So if you don't want to offer that anymore on my portal, it's been disabled. So they just see this listing. Our next hyperlink up here at the top is for reports. So remember, report writing is included in your subscription. You can request any type of report that has data from your database, right? We can do that on staff side, but we can also post them on your portal. So I'm going to run for you this complaints by type. It's got this great pie chart that tells us the type of report it is. And I'm going to do everything from this year so far. This is going to port all of that violation data into my pie chart, and it shows, you know, this chart, and then it shows the legend over on the right. And there's a print icon up here, so your constituents can print these off. Now, on the reports tab also, you can have reports by department. We think that it looks great to have, you know, 3 here. Play around with that a little bit more if you don't mind word wrapping. But again, these options are all configurable on these new pages, so we're excited for you to see that. So I just want to put in another plug. Report writing is included in your subscription. We really want you to use the software. We want to make your life easier. So if you're getting a bunch of FOIA requests and you could just have us write a report for you and put it on the web, that's a great example of how a report can help you. We are going to move on to the My Accounts tab. So remember how I said you could do 4 if you do word wrap? This is an example of that. This page doesn't have headers, so this is all done through HTML. You have options. In My Accounts, you still have access to the navigation tabs on the left. But now I want to show you some cool features. Number 1, Google Translate. If you have any non-English speakers, we can add Google Translate to your whole portal so that it's available on every page. And then when your constituent selects their language, then it translates that page for them. And you can pick any of the Google languages that have been translated. I think there's a ton. And so these are just the defaults that have been added to mine. In the future, we are going to build this as an option that you can, configure to be on or off, and it'll sit in the top left of your page. I'm going to go back to English because unfortunately I'm not bilingual, so we'll do it in my native tongue. Still have announcements here. It says your constituent's name. You can choose to use or not, and we can format it differently for you, but this is a great way to do it and to call out this information. In my system, I'm going to show you the make a payment option. So your constituent can still go to their permit and click the pay button. If you have a payment processor that will allow multiple projects to be paid with one transaction, we can put a button like this on your homepage. Your payment processor may not allow this. So if that's the case, we can let you know. This portal is set up with a payment processor that does allow multiple payments. So that make a payment button is showing me all of my building permits. I can switch and I can get different project types listed. I'm just going to take a couple from the building side. This checkbox will uncheck everything and you can pick the ones that you want. It's going to total at the bottom and then you continue. It displays what you've selected and it gives you a payment processor input window. Mine does credit card or check or savings. I'm going to put in a credit card. I'll even try to spell things correctly. If you are not currently set up to use a payment processor, we have integrated with about 30 different processors. We don't take any override for those fees. So if you want to use one of those, we don't charge you for that integration because it's already built. You set up the account, we'll ask you for specific credentials, we load those into your portal, and then your constituents can pay. So I'm going to submit these payments. this one payment. It has paid these 2 items. It sent me some confirmation in email, and I see the receipt information here. It's also added a convenience fee that's built into the payment processor that can help recoup your fees. We don't have any part of that. So we've just gone through payments. Let's go ahead and we'll go back to my account. We have a couple of reports here that are going to pull information specifically for me as this logged in user. So this map my requests, Buddy just added this this month. It's so cool if your constituent wants to see all of their projects. So this is my demo user. I have tons and tons of projects around. You can zoom in and you can click to get information about this project. And if you notice, we can even give you hyperlinks to navigate to that, or navigate to, say, a request an inspection form. Great feature. Also, that print button is built in, so that's a great way to do it. There is also this request an inspection form. So this is going to look at my account and show me only the permits that are that qualify for being able to do inspections right now. So we have a bunch of permits here. I'm going to go all the way down to the bottom. I'm going to pick this one. I could just navigate to the project, or I can click request an inspection like I did from the map, and it takes me to this page. So did you know that your constituents can request an inspection through the portal? If you're not using this feature, it's available. I'm going to show you some features that are available too. So we can add conditions to prevent your constituents from moving forward. If I try to do a final, pick a date, do it in the afternoon today, I'm going to submit this, and the system tells me this final inspection cannot be scheduled until all required inspections have passed. This is an example. We build these conditions with your business rules. So if you need some checks and balances put in the system, this is a great way to do it. This could be a stop like it is here. It could also just be a warning to your constituent. So conditions can happen on the portal. If I change this to a foundation, the next feature I want to show is that these are forms, so they can have custom fields. This one has, enter the contact person on the site the day of inspection. So I could say, John Contractor, and I could put in John's phone number. Not really John's phone number, right? This is my demo environment. I can list notes here if I want, and I can submit. So that's going to put in a foundation request. It tells me my inspection has been requested. And then it takes me to the permit itself. I just want to show you a different type of inspection. This is a footing. On all of our inspections, we can lock your calendars down. So we're at the very end of the month. If I skip forward to April, you can see we don't do inspections on Fridays. We can block out holidays. We can have a max cutoff time for you. In my demo environment, I can request inspections up to 5 o'clock. But your inspectors don't want to get same-day inspection requests, right, at 3 in the afternoon. So we can program those rules into the system for you. On this footing inspection, I am going to just request it for today. And the time component is optional. This is one way to do it. It's just AM or PM. I'll say PM. This also could be a range of hours or a single hour. Lots of options. We recently heard that as jurisdiction needed to be able to upload the as-built plans to their final inspection so that the inspector could look at those plans. That would just be a document upload field type. So think about the things that would help your job move effortlessly, right? What is going to take out a bump for you? What will help you work more seamlessly, right? We want to build your system and tailor it to do that. I'll go ahead and submit this. And this is also going to take us back to the permit itself. I'm going to just show you these texts here. We've got a couple of failed inspections here. We've got some online inspection requests, right, for the foundation and the footing. And then this was a previous one in the system, so apparently I like this project a lot. If you notice, your constituents can cancel and reschedule, and usually that would be for future inspections, but they can click on here and say, oh, I missed it, let's do another one. They can also view comments. So if I click view comments, it's going to show what the inspector has added to the project. So they'll get an email about it, and they can also see these comments in the system. So if you're not having your inspectors add their comments into Citizenserve, we can help you create a contact list for them or a comment list, and then they can check off the things that apply to that inspection. Lots of features and available options. So we do have the option. It's not a new feature, but it's new to us. We can do texting in Citizenserve. So we've got two features that employ texting. One is when your inspectors have scheduled their inspections through the portal, you can send a text blast from your system and notify the next day's contractors that their inspections are due. So I'm going to pull up Ellie's account. She is my permit clerk, and she has a report with some little text icons here. This is the notification that she sends at the end of the day that texts contractors that have an inspection due. So she can change this text, on Fridays or on Thursdays, right? She could say for Monday, because I don't do them on Friday. If I run this, it's going to send a text out to 4 contacts. So I'm going to hit send, and that's going to notify those users that they have an inspection scheduled. So that's one way to use texting in Citizenserve to contact your constituents. It's super cool, and that feature is available to you to just add to the system. You don't need your own phone number for that. There's no cost to you. There are some rules about texting, though, and I want to talk about those. The FCC monitors texting, and they regulate it. So you may be getting spam texts, but those can be fined up to $10,000, to the company that sends those. So to work within the law, you need to do a couple of things. One of those, very first one, is that you have to let your users opt in to texting before you text them. So your constituents can go into their account, or when they register, they will get an option to opt in. This is not a checkbox that you can manage because it's up to them. So they can come into the portal and they can uncheck the box if they've opted in. Unchecking would opt them out. They can also respond to the text with a stop, and that will opt them out as well. It's really important that they manage that, so we've locked it down. You can't get into their account and manage that when you access their account through the portal.
You can.
Oh, go ahead.
I just wanted to add really quick that you can set up a condition. So if they log in and they're a contractor and they haven't opted in yet, and you would like them to, you could show them a message that says, hey, you haven't opted in for text messages. If you want to, go to my account and check this box. So that's a nice way to remind them that, hey, this is an option without you having to send everyone an email or anything like that.
Perfect.
And I also
Julie.
wanted to add,
Oh, yeah.
sorry, when
That's
you
okay.
sent the inspections for tomorrow, it includes the address and the inspection type, and you can customize that. So if you wanted to put in the time or the inspector or any other information in those text blasts, you can do that too.
Great. Thank you for saying that. All right. So having the constituent decide to opt in, that's the first thing. They have to do it. You can't do it for them. The second thing is to only send them appropriate content, right? That's not a problem. The third thing is to just message them minimally. So not an everyday, hi, how's your day going? The city wishes you a happy day, right? And then the last item is to text only during daytime hours. So those are the general rules out there. I've just shown you how to text blast, but we can also set up your account with its own texting phone number, and your constituents can text you their inspection requests. So I am going to show a screen of my phone. Let's get everything set up. So I'm holding my iPhone in my hands and I'm going to mirror it for you. I am holding, right, an iPhone. The format for the texting of inspections is the permit number, the inspection number, the date, and then the time. And in mine, it's AM PM. So this is how it's set up. So I have copied this text so I didn't have to thumb it out for you. And I'm going to just send this. Now, the conditions that are applied to your inspections still apply to texted inspection requests. So this is going to pop up in a second.
I think you might have the wrong phone number, Misha, because you didn't get a reply on the first one either.
I did actually. It came back from,
Did you?
I did. It was just to this phone number. Oh, look, it came in. It just was hidden. So today at 11:30 on Pacific time, get a message back. An inspection cannot be scheduled until the initial plan review is complete. This is an example of a condition that is applied in my portal. So my contractors can't request that time of an inspection, that type of an inspection or on that project. So I am also going to send in this text because this one doesn't have any conditions on it. So I'm going to send it here, and now it tells me this permit footing inspection has been scheduled for 4/3. And this is the one we were just working on. So if we go back into the portal, which we should do right now, you'll get to see how that text comes through and is visible on the portal. So back on our account, I can go to, request an inspection. This has a list of all my projects. And at the bottom, I can just jump to that permit. And when we go to the inspections tab, we're going to see now this IVR inspection has been requested. So this option is available to you. It does require you to have a phone number set up so that you can send and receive those, so they can send to you. That is a one-time fee of $2,000, but it's just one time, and then you can have that feature available. So a couple other things on the portal. We're going quick, and we'll get to questions and answers. The contact us page, it's just got the same format. Right? We don't have any shortcuts listed here. We just have some department information, nothing new functionally, but a new layout. We do have messaging available through Citizenserve. So if you're on a permit or a license, you can go to the send option under the file menu, file options, and you can send a message. When your constituent gets that message, they'll receive it as an email. I'm going to just pop this email up so you can see it. They'll get an email that says the message, you received a new message from Ellie. Hi, Misha, the landscape plan you attached is blank. Can you send it to us using the upload documents option? So Ellie sent a great message. Here's a link that I can go back to the portal and I can upload that document. If I'm in the portal, I'll also see this message here. This is going to disappear if I've read all my messages. So from the building department, here's that same message. So I can mark it as read or I can reply back and I can say, thanks, Ellie. I'll send you the new plans. There is a history here of all of the messages. And there was also a link right there that would take me right to that permit. We'll go in and view our requests. This is our project. And here I can upload documents. I will pull in that landscape plan that was blank. Here's the updated landscape plan. sorry, I goofed. There's the description, so your user can, give you a message there, and when we submit, this notification is going to get to the town. This one actually is going to go to the unassigned task list, but that can come directly to you if you need to receive all of those. So send in a support request if you need us to tweak your assignments. I did want to walk you through what a permit looks like. So in the portal, especially for those that aren't using one, or if you haven't enabled some of these features that have been rolled out recently, your constituents still have tools on the left. So they can leave you a message or upload documents, request an inspection, make a payment. This edit option is available by type or by status. So for some reason, we have my issued permits being able to edit. I think that this was for a specific demonstration. We'll turn that off. The permits tab shows the questions and answers on your permit. The reviews tab shows all of the reviews in the workflow route, or all of the activities in the workflow route. So the task name, the department they were assigned to, the start date and completion date, and then the status. If you notice, we have links underneath the statuses. You can enable this, ask us to enable it. It'll display the comments from that reviewer. So here we see what Ellie has said. If you've done markup, you can go over to the Plans tab and you can view markups on this document. So here is a markup that's been done. This is showing Ellie's comments, some shapes. You can click on a shape and just filter. So this is from the fire department. And then this is from Ellie at the building department, where you can navigate through the comments here. So we think this is a great way to be transparent with your constituents. They can view right through the portal. And then there is a resubmit plans option that allows your constituents to resubmit their plans. This button will route it to the reviewer. So because we're looking at this review from Ellie in the application intake, it would submit those plans to her task list, and it will add it to the review route. So we are nearing the end of what I wanted to show you. I'm going to bring us back to our slide deck here. And I want to talk about the process for requesting this.
We've got some questions too. Perhaps we should, do you want to save the questions till the end?
I think that this might answer some of those.
Okay.
Let me take a minute to just go through these, and then we can go and do some show and tell based on people's questions.
Sure.
So the process for a portal refresh is that you can expect a 90-minute meeting per week for 2 to 3 weeks. We want to meet with you to do a kickoff. We will have reviewed your site to see, what you're using and what might benefit you. Your implementation manager will go work on those changes. You'll meet again. Everything will be built in the test server so that it doesn't interrupt your existing portal. And you can get into that test server and, kick the tires, test those changes, see if you like the layout, see if you want to make any changes. So you can have 1 or 2 reviews of that portal, meetings about that. And then when you approve it, we are going to move those changes into production after hours. So we'll take down your original, load the new one, and then your constituents will be able to experience your whole new portal. The timeline is super important. It needs to be within a 2 to 3 week period because that test data gets refreshed about monthly. So it's on this continuous cycle because they do data migrations there. So they load data, have our customers test their migrated data. You may have done this when you loaded your site. And we have to refresh that on occasion to pull in new data. So we need to work within that schedule, which means that you'll have a very quick turnaround. If now is not a good time for you, you don't have to do it now. You can always, stick this on your calendar to send in a request for a period that you're free, that you have some time to commit to this in a short period of time. So how do you request it? It's really easy. You can send us a question in this webinar. Let us know that you'd like to either have a have your existing portal refreshed, or that you're ready for a portal to be enabled on your site. Or you can submit a support request right now. And if you are not already submitting support requests, oh, hi, Ed. Let's get back to Ellie. In your file menu, you have a support center option. You would just submit a new request. And this option would be portal changes or questions. And you would just type in your request here. Ready for a portal refresh, ready for a new portal. Your details should populate here. And then you can save it and send. If you have some ideas or some images, go ahead and attach those here. We can get started in test and get that set up for you. So that is everything in our slide deck. So guess what? Let's do questions. What have you got, Julie?
So Buddy has sent comments to some of you, so I'll just read them aloud anyways, just in case anyone else is interested if you haven't seen it, and we can just go through them quickly. And if you guys have anything else, just add them. I'll start at the bottom. So Carrie asked our first question and wanted to know if you could put a FOA submittal request on the portal. And yes, you can. You can submit a support request for that. Let us know what you like to show in your FOA request, and we can create a report on the portal. And then Kyle from Shaker Heights asked, will there come a point in time where eventually you'll require all your subscribers to adopt any of the features shown today? And no, that will never happen. We will never force changes on you. If you don't like them, don't use them. ADA compliance is a question that Kyle and Shaker Heights also asked. Yes, we do focus on ADA, and when you work with your portal reset, there's a Chrome extension called Wave. That's a really good tool to check ADA compliance. So your implementation manager, the person working with you to set up your portal, they're going to use that to make sure your contrast is right. You don't have any duplicate links, all that good stuff. So Wave is a great tool if you want to check out what you have now, but that's what we'll use to evaluate your portal and see if we've got any issues. Let's see, who hasn't got the next question? Will Citizenserve be creating a mobile app? This was from Eric Victor. No, we won't be creating an app. It is browser based. That means you can get to it from any phone, any device, anything with internet connection. And the beauty in that is that you don't have to download anything. You don't have to update apps. You don't have to do anything like that. So we will stay true to the browser based solution, and we likely will not be developing any apps. Kyle and Shaker Heights had another question. Certain modules could be disabled from public searches. Can you allow permits to limit the search to display only certain permit types? Yes, you can. So if you don't want to show certain types of permits, you can limit that on your permit type. And I had a request today that they put an alert on a property that says it's not eligible for public information, like it's a private thing, and they eliminate all of those from their portal. So you could do it by type or by other situational data. Let's see. Can you use text blasting besides inspection information? Yes, you can text anything in the system. So if you wanted to send text for renewals, you could. If you wanted to text that offices were closed for some reason, you can do that too. Let's see. Pages being slow. Did I get them all? It seemed like there were more than that. Did I miss anybody or Misha that you can see?
It might be in the other category, in review.
Review? Okay. Mary asked if you'll have a printout on how to use these updates or a practice guide before you go live. We don't typically have a printout, but what we can do is when we're walking through it with you, we can record those calls. Those are a great reference point because not only is it something that you read, but you can see it and watch it. So just make sure to request the person working with you that they record those calls, and that's a great reference point. Let's see. Amy asked, does Citizenserve have the option to have a quick search for SCLLR portal? since we check the contractor state license daily. So I think what you're asking, Amy, is can we integrate with the state contractor's license to look up to see if a contractor is current? We might be able to do an integration. It depends on what the state has. So if that's something you're interested in, you can submit a support request and we can look into it. At a minimum, we could put a link on the page where you're viewing the contractor information that goes to that. So at least you don't have to type in another link. So at a minimum, we could do that. That's simple. But if we can't integrate, we could add that.
I thought I would pull up St. Charles County. I also have a call out to Fridley and to Branson, Missouri here. We can just link out to other sites. So learn more about development projects. Used to go to a stationary page on our server, but we can point out to your best source of data. Oh, so this one is going to our basic page. It's been configured to have information about their processes. In Fridley, shout out to Fridley, when they come to learn about permitting, it's going to point out to the fridleymn.gov site. So we can point out to the contractor site and at least land them on the page if there's no integration possible.
Awesome. And then Tyler asked if we do a refresh, will the Citizenserve implementation person be the same person to create their initial portal? Not necessarily. We are going to try to get these done for you as quickly as we can. So we are going to assign them to people on our team based on who's got availability. If you really want to work with a certain person and you're willing to wait until they have availability, we can accommodate you with that. But to move quickly, we're going to give you to whoever's got the most availability. All right, let's see. Corey asked, can you see required inspections prior to being requested? So I think what you're asking is, can the person on the portal see a list of what inspections are required for them? I mean, typically that gets printed on the permit card. That's where they see it. There's not really a place to see it when they're scheduling the inspection. You can, however, set up conditions that say, don't let them schedule the final until they did all the other ones that were required, or make them do it in a certain order. So there's different options you have to make sure they're requesting the correct inspections and at the correct time frame. Sharon asked, can we send mass emails to contractors? Yes, we can. So it's just basically it's a report. And then the criteria would be all the contractors. And then the template would be your hurricane, Sharon approaching. So yes, we can create mass emails and mass text blasting too. And if you're going to start the text blasting, you might want to do emails and text initially until you get all your contractors signed up and opted in to text, so that they're sure to get notification one way or another. Kyle asked, can the text blast go out for activities instead of inspections? Yes, they can. So you could text your plan review is done. You could look at activities, inspections. You could even look at permit expiration dates. They could get an email that says your permit's expiring next week, get a new inspection, or you've got overdue fees. So really any data in the system you can do a text blast based on. Tyler asked, on the inspections tab in the portal, when you click on the inspection comment, can it list the status of the comment? Complete, re-inspection required, etc. Yes, you can. That's a relatively new feature. So if you've got them enabled on the staff side, they can show up on the portal site. I don't know if you've got any inspections comments you can look at. You don't have it enabled.
These are statuses, yeah.
Yeah.
I
That's
haven't added
recently
any on that one.
added option that you can enable. Nikki asked, will we eventually be able to create custom reports like ad hoc reports? And yes, you can do that now. There's a query tool that you can use that will let you build basic reports. And if you're interested in learning more about that, just submit a support request and someone can show you how it works. You can probably, kind of play with it yourself too. It's pretty simple.
Yeah, that one's on the internal side, but not on the portal, correct?
Yes, that's only on the admin side. You can't, there's no way to let your contractors go in and create their own reports, because who knows what they do, right? But if they are always asking you for the same thing, you can create a report that satisfies that need and put it on the portal. And it could have like lots of criteria. So you could be like permit type, subtype, date range, address, like you could have lots of options so that it lets them sort of build a custom report.
But the city staff cannot create an ad hoc report and put it on the portal. They
That's
have to
true.
be through support.
Yes, that's true. You can't put your ad hoc reports on the portal. But if you create an ad hoc report that you like and you want it on the portal, just submit a support request and our team will turn it into a standard report, which then can be put on the portal.
Very good. There was one question about DocuSign being available on the portal, and currently we have not integrated with DocuSign, so there wouldn't be any options on that at this time.
Right.
But we, something to look into.
Yeah, if it's something that's important to you and you're interested in, we could look at what that might take in terms of time and cost and let you know. And if it's something you want to do, we can do it. Sharon asked if she could publish reports on a monthly basis. The reports aren't really stagnant, they're live. Like when they click run, it runs the report. So what you could do is just add a date range to your report so that they could run it for the month that they're looking for. All right, let's see. There says there's some new questions. Oh, I think I got them all. Anybody, did I miss anyone's question? That DocuSign.
I saw Anthony raise his hand for a second. I wonder if Anthony has a new.
Oh, if you've got a raised hand, let us know. If you raise your hand, we'll unmute you and you can ask a question. All right, Zach raised his hand. Who can find Zach in the list first to unmute him?
I see Eric the back. So if my thing will allow.
Let's see, I see
Oh,
two.
Enabled as Mike.
Mike?
so Eric, you're on. If you unmute yourself, you'll be able to
Hello?
ask a question. Hi.
Yeah,
Hi, how are you?
Great.
So my question is, for the request inspections from the portal end, they can obviously request an inspection from the customer side, but how does it look from our side? Does one person get the assigned activity, or can it go into like an unassigned task where kind of anyone can jump through? Because like what we're wondering is, what if one person's gone and then for like on vacation, then it's just left in their task list?
Yeah, there's a couple of things you can do. Is that your metric that lets you do that, Misha?
Mm-hmm.
So we can create a metric like this, and what it's doing is it's showing all of the inspections for today. So let's say Ed was out today. You can just go through this really quick and change it to someone else. You could make this show me tomorrow's. You could do whatever kind of date range you wanted. It also lets you put your unassigned ones in there too.
So it goes directly to the inspector?
Yeah, if you use that option to reassign it, it's going to go directly to the new inspector. So
But
she
you
changed.
can, I think the other part of your question, Eric, was can you have it go to a queue? And that would be the unassigned task list. So this one is currently unassigned, but all of these others have been reassigned to specific inspectors. So the assignment is created for you in, in administration, and he's got an unassigned task list way, way, way down here. If I filter for the ones that are due today, then there's that foundation. This is going to work the same way. If he checks the box, it assigns it to him. So you can have staff assigning this out to the person that has bandwidth. And there's a link here that shows you the calendar for either this user, or you can view multiple calendars by group.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you bet. So if you see features that you're interested in today's demonstration, put in a support request. Hey, I saw this cool thing. We want it. We want it. So thank you for that question, Eric. Is there anything else you wanted to say on that? And then we'll move to, I think, Christopher. I saw his hand first. All right, Chris, I have just Wait a minute.
You
I disabled you. Somebody's on track for enabling, and I am the disabler. So let me allow that. Chris, do you want to try it? Unmute.
There we go. Everybody hear me?
Hey. Yes, we can.
Yeah, the Q&A thing wasn't working on my end. So
Oh, no.
yeah, late to the part. I actually sent Julie a service request, but I think she's busy at the moment.
I'm right here.
So like kind of twofold. We use our Outlook calendars for scheduling. Have we found a way to link Outlook with the Citizenserve scheduler or no?
So you can, in your user settings, can you go there, Misha? There's a checkbox that says something like enable Outlook. I forget exactly what it says. Calendar integration. If you check that box, what it does is when you create an inspection or any kind of calendar activity in Citizenserve, it'll send it to your Outlook calendar. So it's
does that calendar look at the Outlook? Because that's a reason we don't use the scheduler inside Citizenserve is because of double booking appointments.
Yeah,
So
it doesn't, right,
okay.
it doesn't look at what you're, this just sends anything that you send, that you
Got it.
create in Citizenserve to Outlook.
Okay, so that answers that one. And then the other question, for those of us that, are up and running with the portal, with licensing, permits, plan review, all that good stuff, are we still looking at the same development time to do the refresh? Or does that get carved down a little bit?
I think we can do all of it. So what we would do initially is we're going to review your existing site and see what you've got. If
Okay.
you've got a super customized website, it might take us longer to go, okay, where does this go and how do we want to rework that?
Got
If
it.
you're using all the components, but you're kind of using it out of the box as it was, 2 years ago, then it shouldn't take us more than 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah, we're using the portal that we jumped on 6 years ago. So
Yeah. So if you
Okay.
haven't customized it a lot so far, it should be pretty easy. We are just going to kind of note what links you have now. We create them and test, and then we just start copying and pasting things.
All right, cool. I appreciate it. That's it for
Sure.
me.
You got it.
Thank you.
Anybody else have any other questions? Oh, Sharon.
Yeah, Sharon does. Sharon, we've unmuted you, but you can now unmute yourself. We can't unmute you. It's a privacy thing. That was Sharon Johnson. Calling Sharon Johnson. Do you have a question for us? Just unmute your mic and ask.
Oh, Sharon did ask a question in the Q&A. If we have new employees, will you be having any webinars that we can allow them to sign up for? When you have new employees, you get unlimited training with your user subscription. So if you have someone new and you want training, just submit a support request and we can schedule one-on-one training. And it's helpful if someone from your team is there because we can't always answer the business process questions. We can show you how the system works, but we don't necessarily know how your internal processes work. So it's helpful to have someone who knows the system and the process from your team there, along with our person to do the training. There's some more questions coming in. When all plan reviewers, this is Amy and Lisa, when all plan reviewers have completed the review route, is there an option to show that the permit is ready for payment, a color code option to let us finish it out? Typically, we do something like that with a metric. Mish, I don't know if you have any metrics up there that show, like, I know you have one that's like ready for final or ready for CO, I think.
Are you talking about a chart metric? I'm sorry.
A chart metric, yeah. So let's see if Misha has one. Expiring permits is kind of like that. So basically, we would create a metric like one of these, and it would show all the permits that have completed plan review but don't have payment, so that you could go in and send them an email, or or maybe everything's done and they have paid, you could issue the permit. So we can create a custom metric for you that'll show you that data so you can just get to it at a glance without searching and going through things. Let's see, what else came in? Corey asked if we can schedule reports to automatically be sent. We do not have a report scheduling option, so you have to run it when you need it. Jamie asked, does one person need access to change the portal, or will you allow several people? You can let whoever you want. modify your portal. It's just a user rights setting. So if you've got multiple people on your team, you can let as many of them into the portal. Like Ed does not have access. He doesn't see a portal option there. If you want someone new to be having access to your portal, just submit a support request and we can add it for you.
So we've just reached the top of the hour. It's noon in East Coast, no, West Coast time. Where am I? I'm going to launch a poll for you. We'd really love your feedback on how this was for you today. Thanks for the thumbs up, Jamie. We appreciate that. So this poll, I just launched it. It should appear on your screen. If it's too annoying, you can X out. You don't have to do it. But it's just 3 questions. We'd love to get your feedback on this. If you have more feedback, please feel free to submit it as a support request. We do want to hear from you. And we want to know if this is something that you would like to see in the future. So.
And just real quick, there were 2 more questions that popped in. Mary wants to know if any other cities are using the texting. Yes, there are. If you want to submit a support request, Mary, we can give you some contact people. I'm not sure who you're with, or I would just email it to you. Actually, we can probably get your email. We can send you some references. And then Sharon asked if Hightail can be integrated with Citizenserve. I'm not sure what Hightail is. Buddy, Misha, have you heard
It
of
looks,
Hightail?
I just Googled it. It's a secure file sharing.
Okay, so
thing.
probably is the answer. What we would have to do is look at Hightail and see if they have public APIs that we can utilize. And if they do, then we can. We would just have to kind of dig into a bit to figure out what it would take, and then we could give you a cost for that.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, now we can
Yes.
hear you.
Hi, I found the unmute button.
Yay.
Yeah, Hightail, our plan reviewers use it instead of using your plan review module. They use that to do a lot of their plan review and markups, and then
Okay.
they're able to send it as a like a Dropbox link in order to to the customers.
Yeah, we can look into that if you would like to get pricing and timeline on that. We can definitely look into it and see what it would take.
Okay, great. Thank you.
And I know that people only had certain time allotted. I just want to send out a big thank you to you for coming today. We'll post this online, and we can continue with questions if you can stick around. But
Thank you,
so much for
everybody.
coming.
Okay, we appreciate your time and hope this was useful.
Yes, we do. Oh, Tess is asking if we have some sort of a PowerPoint. I can put our PowerPoint into slides. Again, talk to us, submit a support request, I think, to get the code on how to change your links. That's something that isn't going to blow up your site. But if you want to do a major refresh into the new layout that you saw, please submit a support request.
And Alicia's asking if they can have access to the Buena Vista demo page. I was just going to copy it into the question here. Let's see if I can find the URL for Buena Vista. I will copy that into the comments.
That's on the published comment already.
Oh, it is?
Thought it was.
If you've got it, you want to answer? I mean, the questions, I don't see the URL.
I can put it in there. Do you want it for Buena Vista or New Buena Vista?
New Buena Vista. There you go, Alicia. If you look at your questions, you should see like a show comments and Buddy put a comment with that URL.
I also published it as a discussion. And I'll pin it to the top. Look at this group sticking around. Thank you so much.
We appreciate
Any
you.
other questions there? Yeah, or raise your hand. We can unmute you.
Todd
There's
would like to ask a
Todd.
question.
I will allow your mic. All right, Todd, it's you. You just have to unmute.
Which is at the top of your screen towards the right.
Did that work?
That's
Yes.
it. We hear you.
So my question is, we are trying to get a live virtual inspection program going. I was wondering if Citizenserve has something that in the works or something we could use on that.
We just did an integration with,
USpec.
oh, I did a different one for Berkeley. It was, I can't remember their name. So we've done two with two different softwares, that's what they do. So if you're interested in that, Buddy and I can get you the two different names that we've done the integration with, and you can look at those systems and see if they'll work for you. And if so, we can set up an integration.
All right, perfect. Thank you. Yeah, I would be interested.
Okay.
I also know someone else who would be interested in that, Julie. So
Okay.
anybody else with any?
Todd, I don't see your information so that we can email you back. Anybody have Todd's info?
I think we'll have his.
The contact info is blank.
I don't see anywhere to enter it here.
Did you
Can you just-
register for this and with your email address?
I did, yes.
It should be on the. It should be on
Okay.
our
Okay.
list.
What jurisdiction are you with,
tracks.
Todd? Just in case we can't find it, I
Right.
don't want to lose track of you.
Okay. It's T Goldman, Goldman,
Okay.
at sccmo.org.
Saint
That's the
Okay.
abbreviations for St. Charles County,
All
Missouri.
right. Thanks for letting us know, Todd. We will get you information on that.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Sure. All right, let's see if there's any other questions that came in. I don't see any new ones.
All right. Well, then, why don't we release everyone? Maybe they're already gone. Maybe they're eating sandwiches at their desk. Who knows?
Could be, I love
again,
it so much.
Yeah, we want to thank you all for being here. We're going to go and get sandwiches now. And we hope to see you at the next one. Have a great day, everybody.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye, everyone.